Hello and welcome back to another Walking Dead video, and today we'll be talking about the ones who live and should Rick lose his hand, because there's a theory going around that in one of the shots in the teaser trailer Rick is bringing his axe down and a lot of people are saying he's cutting off his left hand. However, there is some merit to this theory because there are some leaked set footage from months ago where you see Andrew Lincoln and he's wearing a grey shirt and a grey glove, and it just looks weird. It looks like he might be missing a hand. However, it could just be in the show it's explained of him just wearing a grey shirt and a grey glove. Could be something simple like that. But it does look very much like he could be missing something or his hand could be injured, because the way it just looks is very weird. Personally, I do not think that shot in the trailer is Rick cutting off his hand. I think that'd be a very dumb way if Rick was going to lose his hand. That would be it. So if he was going to lose his hand, I definitely think it would be a different way. So in today's video, that is why I'm going to be talking about should he lose the hand. Not about the theory, but what I think should happen and my reasons for and against losing his hand. My reason for cutting off his hand is, one, it is a part of the comics. However, it was way sooner. Rick loses his hand back in the prison arc when he first meets the governor, and that never happened in the show. However, in the show, in every season after that, Rick has always had a hand injury. He's always punched something to hurt his hand, and he gets stabbed through the hand a comical amount of times. Like in every season, he always has a hand bandaged up. It's like Rick's thing. Oh, my hand's healed, must stab it again. So with all that teasing for all these years, maybe they're just going to commit and be like, yeah, we're going to cut off his hand. And if it is the last time we'll ever see Rick Grimes, yeah, just do it. I understand they are doing his left hand, not his right hand. Maybe it's just easier for Andrew Lincoln to act because he's a right-handed actor. It'd be weird if you're like, okay, we're going to remove your right hand and now you got to act left-handed. It'd be quite hard, so... And then you have the issue of Andrew Lincoln having to act, oh, I can't shoot anymore. You add more issues to the story, which is already going to be rushed. Just get rid of his non-dominant hand. It makes sense. Since the last time we see him, you don't have to worry about years of budget issues. You could just be like, we have 6 episodes of Andrew Lincoln as Rick Grimes. Do whatever we want. And it makes sense in that aspect. And we have had other little Easter eggs recently in other shows about the early seasons of The Walking Dead, and it seems like this could be just yet another Easter egg, because in Fear the Walking Dead we got a Dwayne Easter egg with Dwayne being tied up like he was in the comics, so they could do a little Easter egg with him finally losing his hand. But against it, why now? It seems very pointless, and the whole reason he lost his hand in the comics was to show the threat of the governor and to give Rick this story to try and go through. In the show, we have 6 episodes, cutting off his hand now, it seems like, okay, he's cut off his hand, but you have 6 episodes for him to go through the trauma of doing that, adapt to being left-handed. It seems like you're adding something else onto an already rushed story. So the against it is just you're complicating things for yourself. This is the last time we see Rick Grimes, the first time we've seen him in 5 years. Now you've got this whole other aspect you have to write about. It seems like against it, it's complicated. It is just too little too late. The whole thing about Comic Rick is he had no hand. He was a guy who's just taking these injuries and still surviving. And you're going to do it now? No. If you were ever going to cut off Rick's hand and you weren't going to do it with the governor, you should have done it with Negan and the Saviors. They teased it when you first met Negan with Carl. You should have done it then. It just feels like, what's the point now? And it definitely shouldn't be a bite. If Rick loses his hand, it has to be from Major General Bill. That's the only way I would accept him losing his hand. Major General Bill cuts off his left hand because they're not savages. You want Rick to still be able to fight, so you keep his dominant hand. You cut off his non-dominant hand as a reminder for disobeying the CRM. I think that's the only way they should ever cut off his hand. If he gets bitten and has to cut it off, that is just dumb. And Scott Gimple have just failed at writing once again, not understanding. He's like, oh, Rick did it in the comics. No, you're not understanding what you're really doing. I just do not believe he should cut off his hand. And my should is no. Rick shouldn't lose his hand. It's just not the point. Even if it happens in the comics and they tease it, no, just don't. At this point, do not. Do not bring back Rick just to cut off his hand and then get rid of him again. No, just bring him back normally and tell the story you have about complicating things. I think losing his hand does more harm than good. I do not think it should happen. And the odds of it happening, I would say 60% not 40%. Like, there are some things here and there with that weird set footage with him, like, okay, it looks like he might be missing a hand. But I think that could just be the photo. There's always a possibility that the photo just makes it look like something it isn't. But please tell me down below, what do you think? Should Rick lose his hand or should he not? I'd like to know all your thoughts and opinions about The Ones Who Live down below. How excited are you to see Rick Grimes one more time? I really hope this isn't the last time, but it really does look like we're going to see him for only 6 more episodes, and that is it. So, goodbye, peace out, and make sure to like and subscribe to get updated with all things Walking Dead universe. And I'll see you in my next video.